Welcome to the Fear Analysis module, the ResCare training and interview section. I'm Brian Weathers and I'll be your facilitator today. Many people avoid going to interviews because they let fear and doubt take over and keep them from taking a chance. Today we are going to address those fears and see what we really have to lose by going through an interview. Even when we build our confidence by using positive language, many of us feel anxious, uneasy, or even fearful during an interview. Let's make a list of some of these things that concern us. We'll label them our fears. What are you afraid of doing or saying in an interview that's causing you anxiety? Most job seekers feel these things. Rejected. The interviewer won't like me. I might say something stupid. My mind will go blank. My skills are wrong for the job. Now that we've listed our fears, let's look at what we have to lose if these fears do become reality. What is the worst thing that we have to lose? We'll label this section losses. Some of you might say job. But did we ever have the job? No. You can't lose something that we never had. Now, we can gain the job, but we cannot lose it. This also means we cannot lose money or benefits that come with the job. So we'll cross out these three areas. Now, let's take a look at losing our confidence and self-esteem. Do we actually lose these things or do we give them away? Self-esteem is at the base of our skull. It's in our heart, in our head. We would actually have to unzip our heads, pluck out our self-esteem, and give it away. No one can take your self-esteem. It is a choice that we have to either give it away or to keep it. By the same token, no one can give us self-esteem. We develop it by overcoming our fears. So we will cross out confidence and self-esteem. So, you can see that we have absolutely nothing to lose by going to an interview. But what can we gain from going to an interview? Experience, knowledge, confidence, self-esteem, and most importantly, the job. Can we actually gain confidence and self-esteem? There's one more thing we could add to this list, and of course it is the job. I can assure you that even if our fear does become realized in an interview, we can turn it around and actually get the job. And even if we don't get the job, it will improve our interview effectiveness and therefore increase our chances of gaining other opportunities when they do arise. Now, as we know as job seekers, we have nothing to lose, but we have everything to gain. What about the employer who's interviewing you? Have you ever thought about what he or she fears when getting ready to hire a new employee? Perhaps you've never been in their shoes and do not know what the employer's biggest fear is with hiring the wrong person. What makes someone wrong for the job? We can make a huge list here. You could hire a troublemaker, someone who doesn't get along with others, who's unmotivated, dishonest, late, unreliable, and simply they have a bad attitude. We could go on and on. Now that we have a long list of fears for the employers, let's look to see what he or she has to lose if this fear does come true. What will the employer lose if they hire someone who is a troublemaker? who's unmotivated, dishonest, late, unreliable, or has a bad attitude? Let's take a few seconds to think about this. I've written down some losses here. Money, productivity, time, merchandise, morale, customers, reputation, the credibility, and all these things lost, they probably will lose his or her business. Think about that. Can we cross any of these losses out? No. These are tangible things that an employer does have to lose. The employer really does have the most to lose from the interview situation, and that should make you feel very confident, knowing that you have the power to make the employer's fears go by the way you answer his or her questions. The employer's questions are based in fear. The job seeker who eliminates the fears the best is the one who will land the job. So, if you do that, what will the employer gain? You. Of course, a good employee who can help them increase productivity, boost morale, gain a positive reputation, and increase profits. You should be able to see now that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain in the interview process. Let's take a second to think about fear versus excitement. Imagine that you're driving along and you see a child run in the street in front of you. What are some physical mental reactions you might have? You might scream, "Ah!" Your heart starts to pound, break out in sweat, you're sick to your stomach. You know that you associate these feelings with being scared. But are they the same feelings that we have when we're excited? Let's think about this. Imagine now that you receive a call from a local radio station and you have the answer to a morning quiz show. When your call is answered, you hear, "Congratulations, you are the prize winner." You win 2 front row tickets to the biggest concert of the year. You'll be picked up in a private limo, treated to a great dinner at a fancy restaurant with members of the band. Now think, what are some mental reactions that you will have? Aren't they the same feelings and symptoms that you experienced before? Screaming, heart pounding, breaking out in a sweat, sick to your stomach. Realize that the feeling that we are feeling is caused by adrenaline. We can use those feelings to actually pump us up and use the energy in a positive way. If we use positive self-talk to put the energy in preparing for the interview and making the employer's fears go away, we will be more likely to be successful. Now that we know that the employer has the most to use and that we can reduce some of our fears by eliminating those employers' fears, we have the power to control fears by channeling our excitement into positive energy and by proving that we will be a valuable employee who's a great fit for the company. Thank you very much.